cops for people being charged with terrorism in the U.S. And this time, last May, it was 5 young guys from Florida who were charged with terrorism because they made the mistake of staying in a flat in Chicago with some undercover cops who brought home Molotov cocktails and then blamed them for planning to use them against the NATO meetings that were taking place at the time. And I thought that's kind of ironic, somehow. 50 heads of state came to threaten and to boast, to articulate their message and together make a toast to the new schemes they're hatching, to the next regime they'll change, to the next nation they'll turn into a bombing range. They hyped it on the radio, newspapers and TV, the anarchists who come and destroy the city, the anarchists who come and the undercover cops, the old Chicago Red Squad and their psyops. It's the cops who bought the petrol, the cops who bought the cans, the cops who brought it home, cops who made the plans, so they got the terrorists they wanted. Now they're doing fine, they got the terrorists and they got the headlines. I want to know who, I want to know who, I want to know who is the terrorist. I want to know who, I want to know who, I want to know who is the terrorist. Meanwhile in Afghanistan, a family is dead, wiped out in their sleep as they were lying in their bed. Wiped out of existence like so many are each day. This is liberation, so they say. This is liberation, and in case you are unsure, the NSA will tell you if your thoughts might be impure. While the generals fly their Air Force all the way across the ocean, they'll build military bases, drop bombs of all description. But if you drive from Florida to the city of Chicago to pay a little visit to Mayor Rombo, watch out for the cops who bring home the gasoline in your apartment. Becomes a crime scene. I want to know who, I want to know who, I want to know who is the terrorist. I want to know who, I want to know who, I want to know who is the terrorist. Meanwhile in Afghanistan, the village has been hit. A wedding party transformed into a pit, transformed into a graveyard for children, women, men, transformed into a graveyard for empire again, a place where terrorists are born. With every drone attack, a graveyard for the Midwest boys never coming back, a graveyard for society, a graveyard for ideals, a place to bury all the hearts of anyone who feels. And at the meeting in Chicago, they'll talk of women's rights, they'll talk about the terrorists they've got within their sights, the terrorists abroad, the terrorists so near, the terrorists who grew up in a suburb around here. I want to know who, I want to know who, I want to know who is the terrorist. I want to know who, I want to know who, I want to know who is the terrorist. Meanwhile in Afghanistan, more protesters shot down by NATO troops who had to prove it's them who run this town, by NATO troops who had to show they are in control, while it all comes crashing down in the countries they stole. NATO troops committing war crimes every day, ruling over nations in the old imperial way. The lying generals in Chicago with their satellites and tanks, taking orders from their bosses. The oil men and banks taking orders from their bosses, looking suitably enraged at terror, foreign and domestic, real or staged, whether led on by informants or just pissed off by the war. The terrorists are meeting behind closed doors. I want to know who, I want to know who, I want to know who is the terrorist. I want to know who, I want to know who, I want to know who is the terrorist. I want to know who, I want to know who, I want to know who is the terrorist.